Well, great. Hi, everybody. My name's Graeme Matthews, and as you know, I run Empowered STEM. And Empowered STEM is an A-level course provider, and we provide A-level courses for those students who want to earn an A star in chemistry, biology, physics, and maths, and attend medical, dental, veterinary, financial, and engineering programs at the chosen university in the UK. So today, I wanted to come in today, and I wanted to talk about the first live stream of the year is this one. It's how to set your teen up for success in the A levels, in the A and the A star, without getting burnout. Now, well, hi everybody. My name is Graeme Matthews, and as you know, I run Empowered STEM. And Empowered STEM is an A-level course provider, and we provide A-level courses in chemistry, biology, physics, and maths for those students that want to enroll in medical, dental, veterinary, financial, and engineering programs at the chosen university in the UK. Now, I wanted to come in today, and I wanted to talk about a very important topic, which is this one: how to set your teen up for success in the A levels in 2025 without getting burnout. Because we get asked questions all the time, parents. And the very first question that we're always asked, besides, where's his accent from? Different YouTube or Facebook video. It's this one. It's, well, Graeme, the problem is that my son, my daughter, they're either they're not putting in enough time. They kind of think it's like GCSE, not putting in enough time, waiting until the night before the exam to study, revise, learn the concepts. Or, on the other hand, they've gone the other direction and they're really just all day Saturday, all day Sunday, in the room every night. They're just studying, doing the work, everything else. And the problem is this, is that I'm a bit afraid that they're going to get a bit of burnout. So what do you recommend? Well, first off, let's get rid of the myth. The myth that we have is this. There's a myth out there that says the more hours you put in studying, the better the result would be. And it kind of makes a bit of sense, doesn't it? It's all tied in with that 7,000 hours thing. But yeah, if you put more time in, well, then you've got to be better at it because you put more time in. Not necessarily true. Okay. It's like going down to the gym. Yeah, you can work out and then you can overtrain. Okay. Same thing with studying, revising for A levels. You've got to put the time in. True, but on the other hand, if you put too much time in, you can get burnt out, and you normally get burnt out, say around January or February. All right. So on this live stream, what I wanted to do is this one: I wanted to talk about how your teen can study smarter and not longer, and get the A and the A star in A-level maths and science. Now, this is the problem that I see. When we're talking to the teens in our onboarding call, what we find is that they don't really have a plan. They don't really have a structure. What they have is, well, just this, it's like the spaghetti effect, like throw it at the wall, something has to stick. Okay. And so what they think is, well, what I do is I really don't have a plan, study timetable, revision plan. What I'm going to do is just do exactly what I did at GCSE, because it seemed to work at GCSE, didn't it? I got the 8 or the 9 at GCSE. So I'll just use the same technique for this bit at A level. And the problem with that one is that the technique worked at GCSE, but it didn't work at A-level. It never does. And so they're going in it blind. They don't have a plan. They don't have structure. And they don't have any exam technique. So what we notice is a lot of students say, well, yeah, Graeme, look, what I do is I come in, copy over my notes I took in school that day, listening to the teacher, And then I do the homework. Yeah. And then what I do is I memorize the mark schemes. Because you know what? When you think about it, if I can memorize the mark scheme, Graeme, I'll get the answer right on the exam. No, you won't. But okay, thank you for letting us know that. And what happens is that when they don't get the mark on the test, when they start getting C's and D's, all of a sudden they start getting stressed, and you get this stress anxiety going. And start spiraling down. So now what they do is they think, oh, well, what I've got to do is I've got to obviously study more, revise harder, get up first in the morning, burn the midnight oil, work all weekend, Saturday and Sunday. That's going to get me the result that I need. Is it? No. All right. And so this is the problem that we have, that we see with students out there, is that, bless them, your son, your daughter is trying really hard to get the A and the A star. They get all the best intention in the world, but it's like saying, you can run to the east, but you'll never see a sunset. All right. So problem is this one then, is that they don't have a plan, they don't have a structure. So now what they do, all right, parents, and I know, tell me if this is true or not. Now what you do is, I'll get a tutor. What my son, my daughter needs is a tutor. So what I'll do is I'll pop down, I'll get on the internet and pop down to one of those web pages where all the university students, they put the credentials up and say, yes, I'll tutor A-level chemistry for £10 an hour. Oh yeah, okay. Or even worse, don't get me started on this one. No, all right. Legal lawyer guy, he's over there. Right? It always tells me I have to say this. He goes, Graeme, we have to say this. In my opinion. So in my opinion, they go for group tutoring. And in my opinion, group tutoring doesn't work. Okay. Different YouTube video or Facebook live video on this one. Okay. But point is, whether you go for a tutor, which is a university student, or whether you go for a group tutoring, all they do is that they teach the content. I call it catch up to a C. What they do is just teach the content, get your son, your daughter caught up to where they should be in the school, which statistically is a C. All right. And then they're left struggling, thinking, how on earth am I supposed to get the A or the A star? Mom, Dad, help me out. All right. Because they're teaching the content. What they're not doing is teaching a system. Now, this is what we teach at Empower STEM. We don't do the one-to-one university tutor. No. We don't do group tutoring. Why? Legal's looking at me. In my opinion, it doesn't work. It's a load of rubbish. But that's just my opinion and the evidence, the data that we have at Empower STEM. We don't teach content, and we don't teach for grades. And so by now you're thinking, well, okay, Graeme, what exactly do you teach at Empower STEM then? Simple. We rewire your teen for success. We teach them the content and how to apply it on the exam. We show them the pathway to get to the A or the A star. All right. What we do is that we teach them a system, which is something you're not going to get from a tutor. Now, our system then, look, it's easy. You start out with precision diagnostics. Quite simple. When your teen enrolls in our course, all right, we give them a test. Yeah, we need to know what they don't know. Okay, so number one, precision diagnostics. The number two, conceptual clarity. We go in there with the absolute best course tutors you will find, and we teach the concepts to a very high level of clarity, so good that they can teach it. Okay, and so now they have a really solid foundation, on the concepts. year 12, year 13, doesn't matter what it is, chemistry, biology, physics, or maths. We then do something called strategic revision, which is we teach them how to revise in a way that's going to get them the A or the A star. Now, I know you're thinking, actually, Graeme, that's a really good idea, because what's the point of teaching them how to study and revise that's going to get them a C? Yeah, I know, right? C means could have gone to medical school, okay? So we teach them how to revise strategically, how to use mark schemes, past papers, examiner reports, how to think like the examiner, okay? And so every hour, every minute is actually, it's spent very, very wisely building up the grades. Like going back to the gym examples, like stacking on plates every 3 weeks. You just build up the muscle. You build up the technique, all right? The last thing we teach is medical mindset. Now, this is, again, this is us. This is what we do, the medical mindset, because anybody can do the growth mindset. I've heard about it, Carol Dweck, the growth mindset. It makes me sick just thinking about it. Again, that's my opinion, okay? The growth mindset. Oh, come on, you can do it. You can do better. You can't do it yet. What on earth is that? I mean, how is that supposed to help your teen? Well, come on, you can do it. You can do better than that. Better luck next time. No, what they need is that they need a medical mindset so they get in there. And so they have what we install is a military grade medical mindset, resilience baked in. So they know how to overcome adversity, how to strategize, how to think creatively, and keep on building the grade up. Okay. Now, these are the 4 steps that we put into all of our courses. And something else we also do is we use neuroscience. So again, it's not about how long your teen spends studying A-level maths and science. It's how effectively they're studying A-level maths and science. And so we use neuroscience for learning. There's 6 tenets to it, different YouTube, different Facebook Live video. All right, it's actually on the channel. And we go through it and we use that. And so they're studying smart. So imagine it's like the difference between going down to the gym and saying, well, I got myself a gym pass. That's nice. Compared to, well, I've got myself a gym pass and I've got one of these workout programs I found on the internet. As compared to us, you're going down to the gym and you have a personalized personal trainer with 20 years of experience who's built bodybuilders out from the ground all the way up, is what they do day in and day out, again and again and again. Now, tell me, parents, leave this description in the chat for me, okay? Which one would you rather do? Would you rather go down to the gym and say, well, I got myself a gym pass? Or would you rather work with a board-certified physical trainer, a nutritionist, and a doctor? Exactly. All right. And so this is what we do in all of our courses: neuroscience, the medical mindset. We use academic coaching. You're not going to find it anywhere else. All right. Now, you say, oh, yeah, Graeme, that's nice. But does it work? Well, sure it does. Sure it does. So let me tell you then two stories. The first one is about Harry. Right, Harry, a typical student. All right, a typical lad. His school had failed him. Now, again, in the comment, let me know if this sounds familiar to you. His mother found us, and she said, you know what? His school failed him because his chemistry teacher was sick, and so they had substitute teachers throughout the year, and he was just sent to the library with a worksheet from the science technician. And, well, he earned a D. A D! Yeah. Can you believe that, Graeme? A D. It's 2 years, a D. What am I going to do? All he wants to do is go to vet school. He can't get into vet school with a D. He can't even fill out the application form. I said, it's okay. Put him on one of our courses. Harry worked with one of our course tutors. He moved his grade from a D to an A in 16 weeks. So when he resat A-level chemistry, he walked out with an A. And if you ask his mother said, because the reason why he did it is because you rebuilt the confidence in my son. He believed in himself, medical mindset. He understood what was going on once and for all, conceptual clarity. And he had a plan. He had a strategy, strategic revision. Okay. So Harry is now actually in vet school. He's studying to be a small animal vet. He's in his first choice of vet school because his mother took the step and went for the alternative, not the one-on-one, not the group tutoring with 99 students in it. Us. Small classes got the result that she wanted. The other one was Sophia, right? Sophia, when Sophia started working with us, she had a D. Year 13, D. She's beside herself. She's like, Graeme, you don't understand. I mean, all I do is A-level chemistry. This is it. You know, I mean, I get in and, I do the homework that the teacher set, and then I'm watching YouTube videos. Mm-hmm. And then I'm memorizing mark schemes. Yeah. And then I take the test and I got a D on it. Mm-hmm. My UCAS is a D. Mm-hmm. What am I going to do? She wants to be a dentist. Now, apparently you know that you can't get into dental school with a D in chemistry, okay? Took our course. Walked out with an A star when she sat the chemistry exam at the end of year 13. She got an A star. She actually messaged me. She got an A star in A-level chemistry, got into King's University, and is now studying dentistry. Why? Because her parents believed in what we do, and so did Sophia, and so did Harry's mother, and so did Harry. Okay? Because what they want is that they wanted the result. What they don't want is a gamble on group tutoring and hope that it works out. Okay? Now, so the solution then is this. You can either work hard or you can work smart. Your teen can spend hours and hours and hours studying, revising the wrong way, getting disgruntled, fed up with A-level chemistry, getting depressed about it because they're studying longer and not smarter. Or you can go down the path of hiring a one-to-one tutor from a university website. That's fine. Group tutoring. I mean, only question I have about group tutoring is this, is that if your teen didn't get it with 24 students in the class, how are they supposed to get it with 99 students on a webinar? That's all I got to say about group tutoring. Illegals raising his eyebrow. Okay. All right. Or you can invest in your teen's education. You don't see education as a cost. You see it as an investment. And you come over to our side and you enroll your teen in one of our courses, one of our proven courses with a pathway that we know works again and again and again, every term, every year in biology, chemistry, physics, and maths. So, parents, the only question that I have for you is this, are you going to invest in your teen's education? Are you going to invest in one of our courses? Or are you going to leave your teen work it out on their own and see education as a cost? All right. So this is the answer then to the question. You don't need to be stressed out in 2025 for A-level science and maths. All right. Real easy to overcome that. If you look down, I believe the tech team on the banner there, they've got click a link in the description to learn more about our A-level courses. True. Click on the link if you want to chat to a member of my team. All right, a non-committal, non-salesy conversation. Just chat to see how we can help your team out. By all means, click on the link and then we can have a chat. Everybody take care, and I'll see you in the next one.